Hi guys, welcome to Llews Reviews, where I talk about movies that have recently just come out and I let you know what I think about it. But this time I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm not talking about a movie, I'm talking about a video game. Resident Evil VII BioHazzard. So the best game up to date right now, I think everyone can agree, was Resident Evil 4 when it first came out. Did the whole over-the-shoulder third-person perspective, and I think a lot of games like Gears of War and a whole bunch of other games sort of had that influence. And a lot of people love and hate the fourth game because after that 5 and 6 came out, and that's where Resident Evil sort of lost its identity. Is it horror? Is it action horror? It's kind of just moving into action. It's not even scary anymore. Now it's just getting kind of silly. And because of this, I do have to think about the movie franchises, where pretty much after the third movie, where it gets into the desert and it's after the apocalypse, it becomes way too formulaic and it just sort of becomes that broken record player that, you know, you can't fix this now. It's not going to work anymore. The movie franchise never really changed its formula, but this is where the video games actually excelled, in particularly Resident Evil 4 and the latest one, Resident Evil 7 BioHazzard. And like, speaking of identity crisis, it's like, hey, Resident Evil's scary again, woohoo! And it's, let me just get this out of the way, it's good. It's a very, very good game. It's scary. I pooped in my pants several times. It's a good game. I mean, there's no more overused gym memberships at the Good Life Fitness, no more bouldering, no more Grand Theft Auto-like car chases, no Jurassic Park bosses. I'm looking at you, Resident Evil 6. What the hell was that?
Holy fucking shit, it's a dinosaur! Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Oh my fucking god, fucking dinosaurs, holy shit, what the fuck?
It's just good old fashioned, I'm gonna sit through this, gonna poop in my pants, and I'm still gonna like it. Yeah. So what's new about this game is that it's no longer third person where you actually see the character, it's first person, and you're playing a guy named Ethan. There's no Chris or Claire Redfield, there's no Jill Valentine, there's no Leon! So you play this guy named Ethan, just a regular guy, not one of the main characters that we know before in the Resident Evil games, and he gets a mysterious video where apparently his wife has been dead for 3 years, but apparently not anymore. I swear this sounds familiar.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
Come on, let's admit it. It's pretty much, you know, everyone was thinking about it. It's like, hey, it's pretty much like Silent Hill 2. But when you're done with the games, you realize it's a totally different outcome. Because in Silent Hill 2 it was more like this crazy internal struggle, and in Resident Evil 7 it's like you're living through a goddamn horror movie. And for me, I really like horror movies. I don't get scared that often, but this game really got me. And when I was done with the game, I was pretty happy, but a couple of my friends were like, play Madhouse, where it's going to be a spike in the difficulty, but they change it enough just to keep you on your toes. You have scarce supply of savings, you have to do tape recordings. I remember in the original Resident Evil, it was the ink ribbons with the typewriters, but your bullets very limited, and you get damaged very easily, and it sucks. It was scary as hell. And it's funny because even though I knew the layout of the houses, they spawn different creatures, and it still scares you. And I guess what still made this a Resident Evil game has got to be the items, the herbs, the safe rooms. Oh God, when you're having that crazy episode where you're trying to run away from Jack, and you reach a safe room, and you're like, oh, thank God, it's a safe room. And then there's inventory management, man. Like how many bullets am I gonna leave behind? How many herbs I'm gonna make, and then how many first aid kits am I gonna take along with me? It's just inventory management. So Resident Evil, I love it. So it's cool in the beginning, like most games, they do this sort of opening tutorial on how to play the game. They teach you how to play the game by actually playing the game, which I like to call Mia, your total bitch from the Japanese horror movies. And then after that, you're taken hostage by the mysterious Baker family with Jack, Margaret, and Lucas. And then there's the mysterious Zoe who keeps calling you on the phone. And then not to mention the molded creatures who, you know, don't really provide a lot of variety. It's either the regular one or the one with the big claw, and then there's the fat one, and then there's the liquor influence, the four-legged molded. But then after that, really you realize that the real highlight of the game was actually the Baker family. And even in this game where it has established itself as a horror game, it still sat in the back of my mind that is this game gonna get a little Resident Evil-y? By that I mean, like, you know, 4, 5, and 6, a little more action oriented. And you know what? It does. Yeah, you reach this part of the game where they literally spoon feed you ammunition and bombs and herbs, you know, just in case you get hurt. And you will get hurt. But it's fun. You get this moment where you get to go all guns blazing like the old games. But it still doesn't diminish itself from getting a little too action oriented. It still grounds itself as a horror game overall. And I do know that there's a virtual reality, a PlayStation VR version of this game, which I totally wouldn't mind playing myself, but overall, like, it's a fun game nonetheless, I'm sure. And I do know the movie franchise is coming to a close, but it feels like the Resident Evil video games is opening up a new door to something totally new, and I'm all for it, man. And what you gotta appreciate, well, I definitely did, was Capcom really took a chance here to really reinvent itself. They did it twice already, and they're 2 for 2. It was a huge risk that could have had an outcome that would be really bad, but in this case it worked out greatly in their favor. But heck, let's admit it, everybody. The video game industry is bigger than the movie industry right now. So for Resident Evil 7 BioHazzard, my first video game review, I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5 dismembered Ethan hands. Don't worry, Ethan. We'll stable it back onto you. You'll be fine. Just put on some magic water and you'll be good. Well, guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just look down, like, subscribe, and you'll be good to go. I don't know what will be the next video game I'll review, but do check out my other reviews on the movies that I like to do. But you know what? Until next time, until the next video game, we'll see you around.